and today I am excited because it's a first for me again. And today we are going to be doing some canning and the water bath method as always, but today it's going to be carrots. So if you've seen my water bathing and canning potatoes, this is the exact same thing, only with carrots. It's the same process. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as you can see, I have all of my carrots cut up. For instance, if you want to know how much this is right here, I have 12 pounds skinned or peeled, I should say. So peeled and cut, and the preference of what cut you do is just totally your preference. So I chose to do this. So I just cut them in circles about that thick for all of them. And then obviously for the smaller carrots, they're just not as big. But that's how I got them prepped. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna do exactly what I did here. You're gonna peel your carrots, you're gonna cut them to whatever preference of cut you want. You're going to have your canned glasses completely clean. They do not have to be boiling hot. If that is your preference, go for it, but they don't have to be. And then you're gonna need some vinegar and pink Himalayan salt. So let's go ahead and start the canning process. Okay, so I love this canning process. It's super simple. It's very, very quick too. The longest part of canning potatoes and carrots is basically just the water bathing part because it's a 2-hour processing time. If you use vinegar, if you choose not to use vinegar, you're gonna wanna process for 3 hours. Now, I'm not a fan of 3-hour water bath processing time, so I'm gonna do the vinegar and do it for 2 hours. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to simply just take my jars that I have here and fill them with the carrots. So I guess I can go ahead and do this one here. Now, when you're filling it with the carrots, you're gonna wanna make sure that you get it really, really packed. You wanna pack it tight. So as you're putting them in, just kind of give them a shake down. And, geez, I'm making a mess. I'm gonna have to wash those. So continue just kind of shaking them down. And then when you get to the top, just push a couple down here into the sides and make sure they're really packed. So let's go ahead and let's do all of our glasses, and then I will show you the next steps. All right, so you can see this is how much I have left over. What I'm going to do is we're going to have some soup tonight, so I need carrots anyway. And with whatever I have left over, I'm just gonna put into some Ziploc bags and put in the freezer, and then we will have some in the freezer too if I want them for any of our meals. So now that these are packed really, really tight, what we're going to do is we're going to take half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, and we're going to put that in each one, and then we're going to fill it with boiling water. So over here on the stove, while I was filling them, I had this pot boiling, so it's completely ready. My seals in the back here and rims were boiling as well, so they're ready. And I have my water bather here ready to go. So we're going to put in the stuff here, and then they will be ready to go. Once again, we're going to put in half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, just like this. right to the top of each one. Or if you prefer, before you put your carrots in, you can put it on the bottom of your can, whatever you prefer. So I've got my half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt there. And now I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of vinegar in each can. And then, like I said, what we're gonna do is I've got a hot boiled pot of water on the stove. And now I will fill all of these to the top and leave about a ½ inch headspace. And then I'm gonna debubble them all with this thing here. I will stick it down inside and get all the air bubbles out, and then you may have to add more water. If not, cool. Then what we're going to do is just take a clean rag and rinse around the lid so we can get that seal, and we're gonna put our hot seals on and get them into the canner. So let's go ahead now and fill them with water, and then I will show you the bubbling as well. Okay, so I just put them full of water, and now I'm gonna now that I've debubbled and a little bit of these came up, I'm gonna have to add a little bit of water to some of them here. Maybe this one, just a little bit more because the carrots moved around a little bit. So you may have to add just a little bit more water, and you may have to take one out. Like some of them I have to take out one, but that's okay. So most of them here are good. Now what we're going to do, now you're gonna just take a cloth and go like this all the way around the edge of the top and make sure that there's no anything on the top and all of the rims are clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we will put the seals on. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now that the rims are all, whew, this one's stuck together. Oh, it's hot. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the rims and seals out of the water. I'm gonna put that one back in. I'm gonna take them out just like that, put them on. Okay, let me try again. You're gonna put it on like this, and then you're just gonna take your rim and finger tight. That's it. And then move it aside, and we're gonna do that to all of them, and then we'll be ready to put them in the canner. Okay, so they are all ready to go into the canner. Now I wanna tell you a little secret that I do. So I fill my canner about half full with water, and then I kind of get it to a boil so it's really warm, almost like as warm as the water that I put into the carrots. That way when we put it in and bring it up to a boil, it doesn't take as long, and the water's almost matched in temperature to the water inside of the can, and we won't have any problems. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these carrots and sit them just inside the on top the rack here, and then we'll lower them in and see where the water level's at and if we have to add some more water. All right, so they're all in the canner here. I'm gonna put the rack down so the cans go down into the water and see where the level is. All right, so they are down in, and you can see the water levels above all of the cans, but I'm going to add a little bit more. So this is perfect. What I'm going to do is add the rest of the boiling water that we used to put in the cans, and I'm going to put it in here, and it should be just enough. And then you're always going to want to make sure, especially with a 2-hour water bath, that you always have an extra boiled pot of water beside, because as this boils and the water evaporates, you may need to add some more in. So I'm going to add this to the pot, and then we should be good to turn it on and start the stove up. All right, so I added not all of it in because I didn't need it all, but it is about an inch above all of the lids. And now we're simply just going to put on the lid here. Put on the lid. And now that the lid's on, we're just gonna keep a close eye on it. Should take about 10 minutes, depending, because the water, like I said, that's in there is already pretty hot. So I'm going to keep an eye on it until it comes to a rolling boil. And once it comes to a rolling boil, that is when you're gonna set your timer for 2 hours. And then once they're done processing for 2 hours, I'm gonna turn it off, take the lid off, and allow them to just sit in the water bath for about 10-15 minutes. And then I'm gonna take them all out and put them on the counter to basically cool down, and they will be done. And then we'll start hearing the seals seal and pop. So once this comes to a boil, I'll give you a look at it, and then we will see what they look like when they're done. So while I'm waiting for my water to come to a boil so I can start the processing time, I just put the leftover carrots in 2 freezer Ziploc bags and sucked the air out of them. And now I will put them into the freezer and just freeze these 2 bags, and then we can take them out and just use them as frozen veggies. And the pot here is just about boiling. Let me show you. It's getting there, so it's got to get a bit warmer still. Once it does, I'll show you and we'll start the timer. Okay, so it's at a boil. I'm going to start the timer for 2 hours, so 120 minutes. I don't know if this is going to do that. No, it won't. So I will just set a timer on my phone. Well, it's 10 to 1, so at 10 to 3 it will be done, and then I'll turn it off, and around 3 o'clock we will take them out. Okay, so I'm back in, they're done, so now I'm gonna use this and take them out, and I'm gonna put them right here on this cloth, and then I will show you what they look like. All right, so there was not much shrinkage at all, and they look really, really, really good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let them sit here until they cool down, and then I always just take a wet rag and wash the lid and the jar off before I put it on the shelf. But yeah, there you go. Super easy. The longest time, or the longest thing about the whole thing is just processing them in the water bath for 2 hours. So there you go. That is exactly how you water bath carrots. And once again, this is not FDA approved. It's not fancy. This is just what I do, and I'm passing it along to you, and it works, and the carrots taste good. I know I can't say that. The potatoes taste good. I haven't done this with carrots yet, but I'm assuming that if it's the exact same process as the potatoes, that they'll be good as well. But I will do an uncanning of these two probably in about a month to let you know for sure how they are. So anyways, that is how you do it from start to finish. I literally just had carrots go on sale at the grocery store right from the town actually that the store is in. It was surprising on the bag for like $1.20 a bag, a 2-pound bag. So I grabbed some and just did this up so I have some carrots on the shelf. So Give it a try, like this video, and comment how it goes for you. And as always, pass it along to someone who you think may enjoy this. And thank you so much for always following along. Ring that bell, subscribe so you never miss one of my videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye.